Hello, or hello again. I'll be honest, I want to make another video. This is a good excuse to do it. I like talking about lightsabers. Nobody in my house wants to listen to it, so I come out here to the shop and I mess around and I play and I make videos, and it's been a blast. Especially since COVID and my short friend list and not much going on anyway, so talking to myself on the internet seems like a pretty good thing to do so far. So, before we get into the noob tip, quick backstory on the lightsaber thing. I've always wanted a lightsaber. I wanted a lightsaber since I was a kid. Most people that like Star Wars do. My buddy has a pretty cool one, a Darth Maul replica. I think it's a Force Effects or something like that. But it's an older one, but it's still really cool and dark. You know, you light it up, it lights up all the blade. So the standard was pretty high for what I wanted. And I hadn't even heard about any of these handheld LEDs before. I hadn't looked into it really at all. Because every time I went on the internet, Ultra Sabers would pop up and it'd be like, oh cool, you get in there and it's just overwhelming with all the crap they've got on there. You know, to get anything cool, I was up $400 or $500 really quick, and I was like, so I kept putting it off, and finally I decided after the last 4 or 5 years of the politics and all this, because that was my hobby for a while, that I was just going to go ahead and buy one. And I looked into finding these LGT Sabers, and they have been they've been a blast. I mean, that's all there is to it. So once I got ready to buy, or thought I was ready to buy, I dived in deep. I like to research and read and salivate over things that I want. So I read, got on the forums, got on Facebook, watched YouTube videos till I was about cross-eyed. Figured out really quick what you want is a NeoPixel Profi or crystal focus, basically. And also figured out really quickly, thanks to LGT Sabers, that Saber Trio had the one I wanted. But I put that on the top shelf, and that was, $500-600 lightsaber. It's a toy, so I could definitely get it, but I don't want to jump right into that. I want to jump into the best. So I kept reading, and I've been real bad about getting in a hurry before and buying something before I was ready. And so I thought, no, let's just do this right. So I thought I'd buy a cheap one to start with, to slake my thirst a little bit while I shopped for something nice. Only it's turned into an obsession, like everything else I tend to go through. But if you look on the web much, I'm not the only one. So apparently nobody has one lightsaber anymore. They're just too funny to keep it at one. So I got this LGT. I lucked into it right at the perfect time. I can't stress how much important that was, because they had just come out with that Eco Smooth Swing. Thanks to LGT Sabers, I know I wanted a Saber Trio. Also, thanks to him, I've heard about the Eco Smooth Swing, so I can't really, thanks for putting that info out there, I appreciate that. Check him out if you have. Also, Darth Paradigm, really good. So, anyway, I decided to get my first one as an LGT base saber with the Eco Smooth Swing, because to me the sound is almost as good as the light. And I knew this wasn't going to hold up to a NeoPixel, but I hadn't seen a NeoPixel. And I've learned, the older I get, to start small, enjoy that, and work your way up if it makes sense to do that. So I had that Saber Trio up there on the shelf. All these Crimson Dawn Banshees and all these cheap NeoPixel Profis floating around now. I gotta admit, after 3 weeks with this one, there's one sitting under the tree. But I'm gonna tell you, it has been a fun 3 weeks, and this thing's going nowhere because this is my toy. This is a blast. And what I wanted to talk about was if you haven't purchased yet, and you're like I was, you're just goggle-eyed, just don't know where to start. Just really quick, these LGT based sabers. There's a parent company that makes these components that make this saber, and all different styles, and they piece together like Legos, and you can put all the different ends and pieces together. And there are several good reputable companies here in the U.S. that buy these up in bulk, fix them out just right, trick them out, straighten them out, and sell them to you with a slight markup and a warranty and some customer service. And so there's a lot of these out there that look a lot alike. They're all based on LGT sabers, and they're all a pretty good product from my understanding. For what I bought has been great. But I bought LGT because I thought, I would want to work my way up. So I bought this. I bought another one coming for my daughter. I bought a standard one because I wanted to hear what the regular ones sounded like. They sound like crap. Don't get them. They're fun, but they don't sound good. And then obviously I wanted a NeoPixel with a Profi board, and now I still want a NeoPixel with a crystal focus. So this is my new motorcycle apparently, and I'm thinking about selling those things eventually and just buy lightsabers. They'll always sell me nothing of those. I haven't been without a bike in decades. Anyway, so if you're thinking about getting something, you're drooling after a NeoPixel because that's what you should be drooling after. But you're like, no, I don't want to start with in-hill LEDs. These things are a blast, and they're tough, and the blades are empty and cheap, and they can take a beating. I don't know how many times I've dropped this. It still works. So what I want to say is, if you're looking in your tour and you don't know what to get, maybe start with one of these or consider it, because without the NeoPixel, you want to know exactly what you're missing anyway, and you can have a blast with this until you do get the NeoPixel, or get both. That's all I got to say tonight. Thanks again for hanging out. It's been great. May the force be with you.